Not so many years ago, Orlando was a quiet, small city in the middle of Florida, a community surrounded by citrus groves and cattle ranches. Then, Disney arrived, forever changing the face of Orlando and the surrounding area, and making it the #1 tourist destination in the United States. Welcome to the best of Orlando and Central Florida. For more than 20 years, the Disney complex has been the anchor attraction in Central Florida. And during all those years, it has never stopped growing. The Magic Kingdom, River Country, Epcot, Fort Wilderness, Discovery Island, and Disney MGM Studios, all part of the driving force in the transformation of Orlando and the environs. And Disney remains the prime destination for vacationers from around the world. But there is more than Disney in Central Florida, a lot more. And it's possible to have a whale of a vacation without ever paying Mickey a visit. Just a splash away from the Disney complex is SeaWorld, one of America's great marine theme parks. The star of the aquatic show is Baby Shamu, the first killer whale ever born in captivity. What makes SeaWorld special is the chance to come face to face with creatures of the deep. Whether you want to feed a friendly dolphin, pet a ray, or come eyeball to eyeball with a huge shark, SeaWorld puts you as close to the deep blue as you can get without donning scuba gear. In addition to the shows and exhibits, regularly scheduled tours take you behind the scenes, where you'll see the breeding tanks, research facilities, and the area where sick and injured creatures such as endangered manatees are nursed back to health before being returned to the wild. And SeaWorld's newest exhibit is called Manatees: The Last Generation. It provides an in-depth educational experience concerning these endangered mammals which inhabit fresh and saltwater areas throughout Florida. One of the most popular SeaWorld exhibits is Penguin Encounter. An iceberg, accurate in every detail, is home to scores of these delightful characters from the Antarctic. Top it all off with some water skiing, pirates, and plenty of fun for the kids. SeaWorld, one of the best features of a Central Florida vacation. Ready to ride the movies? Universal Studios has created a unique attraction based on some of the blockbuster movie hits of recent years. You'll experience an encounter with King Kong, an earthquake, Jaws, and Back to the Future. And the shows give you a front-seat perspective on how movies are made, especially those exciting action scenes. For a different kind of entertainment, you won't want to miss Orlando's famed Church Street Station. It's a complex of themed restaurants, saloons, and shops celebrating turn-of-the-century America.
We have main engine start, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition, and liftoff.
From balloons and biplanes to the space age. Drive an hour east of Orlando and you'll be at the Kennedy Space Center and Spaceport USA. This is where America's space program got its start and continues to unfold today. Time your visit right and you could experience the thrill of a space shuttle launch. Whenever you visit, you'll be able to tour the Space Center on double-decker buses and walk through exhibits detailing the highlights of the space program through the years.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Orlando wasn't the only boomtown that resulted from the arrival of Disney. Just south of Orlando, the once sleepy cow town of Kissimmee was transformed also. Today, Highway 192, which once featured a mere handful of roadside attractions, is lined for miles with hotels, motels, restaurants, souvenir shops, and a variety of entertainment facilities. Kissimmee adjoins the Disney complex, and one big plus is that rooms are more readily available and less pricey than those on the Disney property and in Orlando. One of the old original attractions, Gatorland, is still going strong. It features, what else? Alligators, Florida's dinosaurs. In recent years, gators, once endangered, have made a strong comeback, thanks in part to breeding programs conducted by Gatorland and similar attractions. Some of the veteran gators just lounge in the sun, while others take part in the feeding jumperoo. A more recent attraction in Kissimmee is U-Drive airboats. You might see an alligator in the wild as you maneuver along a quiet Florida river, where colorful wading birds forage for food and Spanish moss drapes the overhanging tree branches. How about some excitement with your evening meal? You won't want to miss medieval times. You'll dine in a castle, no knives or forks here, as knights of old engage in jousting tournaments, swordplay, and games of skill. There are also two similar attractions nearby, Arabian Nights and King Henry's Feast. Right in the heart of Kissimmee, you'll find Old Town. Just look for its landmark Ferris wheel. It's a small town of the past with shops, restaurants, and entertainment, and you can still get a 5-cent Coke here. If you happen to be visiting Kissimmee in February or around the 4th of July, you won't want to miss the Silver Spurs Rodeo. Professional cowboys help the town celebrate its Wild West heritage. Some 30 miles south of Kissimmee, just off US 27, you'll find an original Florida attraction, Cypress Gardens. World-renowned for its water ski shows and aquacade, Cypress Gardens has grown with the times and remains a top-flight facility. Just a few miles away in Lake Wales, another beautiful garden setting, the Bach Singing Tower and Gardens. In a change of pace from the usual attraction, the 205-foot tower features carillon music every hour and a 45-minute concert every day at 3. Incidentally, if you want to see a citrus grove, you won't have to search. Just drive along US 27 or any other highway in the Lake Wales area, and you'll pass grove after grove, miles of orange, grapefruit, tangelo, and tangerine trees. And most of the harvesting takes place in the winter months. Moving back north through Orlando, the kids probably won't let you pass Wet and Wild, especially on a hot summer day. It's a water theme park where you can just lounge on a raft or take a wild ride, or cool off without getting wet at the Lou Botanical Gardens along Lake Rowena in Orlando. Many people love the solitude of the formal rose garden decorated with Italian fountain and statuary and floral clock. Another oasis of calm can be found on Genius Drive in Winter Park, just east of Orlando. The small citrus grove is home to a flock of curious and hungry peacocks. It's a bit hard to find. You'll probably have to ask the locals for directions. If you'd like a little romance in your Central Florida vacation, drive up to Sanford, north of Orlando, and board the river ship Romance. This 110-foot aluminum catamaran cruises the northward flowing St. Johns River. Trips range from 2.5-hour breakfast cruises to week-long historical tours. For many Florida visitors, a vacation wouldn't be complete without some shopping. One interesting possibility is the Mediterranean-themed Mercado Mall in Orlando. Anchored by restaurants instead of department stores, Mercado recreates the atmosphere of a crowded old-world marketplace. The central plaza is filled with crowd-drawing attractions, and winding corridors and alleyways are lined with all kinds of shops. A more traditional shopping venue is the Altamont Mall just north of Orlando. It looks like any other major mall, but it still wins local popularity polls against the newer competition and packs in locals and tourists. If you have caviar taste and a budget to match, try shopping Park Avenue in Winter Park. Where else would you find a pink 7-Eleven? All along the avenue, the shops of Little Europe beckon. Window shop all the way to the golf course, then turn around and cruise the opposite side of the avenue. While in Winter Park, head for the docks and take a boat tour of the Winter Park chain of lakes. The trip fits any vacation budget. As you drift through 3 lakes, you'll get a view of the lovely town that you can't get from your car, and you'll pass the venerable old Alabama Hotel, now converted to condominiums. Lovers of antiques and collectibles won't want to miss the little town of Mount Dora, a few miles northwest of Orlando. A visit here is like turning the clock back 30 years. But don't be fooled. As you enjoy music in the park supplied by the Florida Youth Symphony, bear in mind that Mount Dora is a wealthy town. The trinkets in the shops are the real thing, and they're priced accordingly. And if the pace of life in Mount Dora suits you, there's no reason to hurry out of town. The first of our favorite Central Florida hotels, the Lakeside Inn, is right down the street. Listed on the National Register of Historic Places, the century-old Lakeside seems to leap from the pages of an F. Scott Fitzgerald novel. Gatsby would have felt right at home here. Two other vintage hotels merit inclusion in our best of list. The Riverview Hotel in New Smyrna Beach started out as a simple bridge tender's house, then grew into a 20s-era inn. After its heyday, the inn fell into disrepair until a 1985 restoration brought back its beauty and charm. Just a brisk walk from the Atlantic Ocean, the Riverview offers prime sunset viewing over the Intracoastal Waterway. Visitors to Cypress Gardens and Bach Tower would do well to spend an enchanted evening at Chalet Suzanne in Lake Wales. Founded in the 1930s by the Hinshaw family, the rambling, eclectic chalet features 30 very individual rooms. Down by the lake is the superb Chalet Suzanne restaurant, one of Florida's best. Honeymooners never have to leave their rooms at the chalet. A cozy little perch for two opens into the restaurant. Meals arrive by dumbwaiter. Incidentally, you can fly to Chalet Suzanne. There's an airstrip right out back. Back in Orlando, the hotel choices can be dizzying. Many new hotels, hotels for all budgets. At the awesomely imposing Peabody Hotel on International Drive, the water is just fine for people and ducks. Located across the street from the striking Orange County Convention Center, the Peabody continues a tradition started by its sister hotel in Memphis, the twice-daily royal procession of the Peabody Ducks. When the Duckmeister rolls out the red carpet, all activity stops and the ducks take center stage. Who cares if it's a little silly? Everybody enjoys the show. The Grand Cypress Resort and its anchor hotel, the Hyatt Regency Grand Cypress, is the kind of place you never need to leave. Why would you want to? Featuring 27 holes of Jack Nicklaus-designed Scottish links, a white sand beach, lavish landscaping, and a lagoon of a swimming pool, it's the vacation headquarters of your dreams. It's just as nice inside. We're staying out here. If mega hotels in proximity to Disney are not high on your priority list, you might want to stay at the European-style Park Plaza in Winter Park. Located in the middle of the Park Avenue shopping area, the Park Plaza offers a simple lobby and pleasant rooms, sharing a wraparound porch with a first-rate view of the park and the street. While the Disney boom initially sparked growth on the fringes of Orlando and out in the suburbs, it took a while for downtown Orlando to catch up. But in recent years, a building boom has created the feeling of a big league city. Located in the center of the growing cultural complex, the Omni remains the centerpiece hotel of the city. It's just a short hop from Church Street and the three-point shot from one of the more important new buildings, the arena housing the Orlando Magic, an up-and-coming young NBA team which has the city gripped with Magic fever. It's nearly time to check out the dining possibilities, but first we'll whet your appetite with a brief look at some of the recreational opportunities in the area. Central Florida is justly acclaimed as the bass fishing capital of the world. Largemouth bass populate the lakes, rivers, and reclaim phosphate mining pits, and millions of dollars are spent by anglers every year in the quest for lunker bass. It often seems that everywhere you go, someone is revving up a bass boat or tossing out a line. The fishing is so good that several big-money bass tournaments are held in the area. Golf is everywhere, too. Perhaps the most spectacular course in the area is Arnold Palmer's Isleworth. Like Jack Nicklaus at Grand Cypress, Palmer opted for a wind-sculpted Scottish-style links. Tennis courts are not hard to find, and with so much water around, there are endless opportunities for water skiing, sailing, board sailing, and swimming. Now it's time to eat. So let's find something other than the fast food so many vacationers seem to live on. In Maitland, just outside Orlando, follow the yellow brick path to the door of the Bubble Room, where you'll be greeted by a Bubble Scout. Get the idea this is no ordinary restaurant? Inside, you'll find a mind-boggling collection of stuff, from trains and Ferris wheels in the bar, even an animated puppet show. But the food is strictly fun and in enormous proportions. you may find it impossible to save room for the array of desserts. Virtually everyone walks out with a shining silver doggy bag. One warning about the bubble room: sit in the tunnel of love at your own risk. You might get carried away. Getting carried away is routine at Townsend's Fish House on South Orange Blossom Trail in Orlando. The seafood is excellent and the nautical decor comfortable. What people talk about, though, is the party scene that kicks in after 10 p.m. almost nightly. Running roughly 70% local to 30% tourists, it's a good place to... well, it's a good place. After a night at a place like Townsend, sleep late and take in a late brunch. Nobody does it better than Park Plaza Gardens in Winter Park. The sun-dappled dining room at the Gardens is a great place for a relaxed and sumptuous meal, a great way to kickstart a new day. One of the Mexican favorites in Orlando is Las Palomas on Colonial Drive. Whether an intimate meal for two or a feast for a crowd, Las Palomas serves up beautiful food and beautiful drinks. From a visual standpoint, the award-winning Maison Jardin may be the loveliest restaurant in the Orlando area. Located in Altamont Springs, this French classic may test your budget, but every vacation has to include one splurge, right? At the Mercado Shopping Complex, the Royal Orleans and Mardi Gras constitute a culinary doubleheader. Mardi Gras is a dinner theater featuring a jazz and vaudeville-style revue. Finally, we visit the Plantation restaurant in Apopka, a small town northwest of Orlando. It started as a doctor's home and was moved up the road from Altamont Springs. The plantation decor reflects the medical roots. Doc Tommy's Lounge displays many of the doctor's original medical instruments. The three-story building provides several comfortably casual dining rooms. But it is the food that attracts most people to the plantation. Instead of high prices and nouvelle cuisine that might be expected in such a lavish eatery, the plantation serves fair-priced, family-style portions of down-south home cooking. Order a plantation platter and you'll find yourself trying to put away southern fried chicken with walnuts, herb chicken, beef pot pie, catfish, country ham, and enough side dishes, salad, and fresh breads to test the resolve of the most dedicated dieter. And that's our video visit to Orlando and Central Florida. We hope we've given you some great ideas for your own. Remember, this area continues to experience incredible growth. Who knows what new attractions, hotels, and restaurants will be available when you arrive in Central Florida.
This program was produced and licensed by International Video Projects Incorporated of Lakeland, Florida. For additional information about this program and other programs we offer, please write International Video Projects, 6700 South Florida Avenue, Suite 28, Lakeland, Florida, 33813-3312, or call toll-free 800-852-0662. Our collection of programs may also be reviewed on our website, www.videoprojects.tv. Thanks for watching.